In this video, we're going to have a look at using GraphRAG in our Flowise applications. Flowise recently added the GraphCypherQ8 chain node as well as the Neo4j node. But what do these nodes actually do? Well, these nodes allow us to add GraphRAG to our Flowise applications. What is GraphRAG and how is it different to VectorRAG that we've been using up until now? Well, to illustrate this, with VectorRAG, we would load some data source, like some file. This could be like a PDF file, it could be data scraped from a URL, etc. This file will then be chunked into smaller documents, and these documents will then be loaded into a vector database. So when the user comes along, the user will ask some question, that query is then passed to the database, and the database will then select the most relevant documents to that query. So maybe it'll grab this one, and maybe this one. And then the contents of these documents will be returned back to the user. So effectively, a vector database is like a search engine. You pass in a query, and it will return the most relevant results. But what is important to note is that these documents are independent and they have no real relationship between each other. Yes, they might contain some metadata telling you what the original file name was, but that's just about it. These documents are not aware of each other and the relationship they have with each other. Where with GraphRAG, data is represented in a very different way. First, data is represented as nodes in the database. For example, we could have a node that represents a movie. And let's say this movie is Top Gun. Now in our database, we could also have nodes for actors. So let's say we've got Tom Cruise, and this node is of type actor. Of course, we could have multiple actors in our database. So we would have Tom Cruise, we have Meg Ryan, we also have Val Kilmer, etc. And let's say we also have a node for the director. So we have our director node, and our director is Tony Scott. Now, these nodes don't have to live by themselves in isolation. These nodes can have relationships with other nodes. So this node could have a type relationship of acted in. The same goes for this node. So we'll just grab this, we'll add acted in. We also know that Val Kilmer also acted in Top Gun, and let's add our director to the movie as well, with a relationship of directed. So what we could do now is ask a question like, who acted in Top Gun? And this database will return data based on these relationships. So it will tell us that the following people acted in Top Gun. It will be Tom Cruise, Meg Ryan, and Val Kilmer. So this is a very direct relationship. We could also ask for indirect relationships as well. For example, who acted with Tom Cruise? And based on this loosely coupled relationship, we will get the results Meg Ryan and Val Kilmer. Or we can ask things like how many people acted in Top Gun, and the database will be able to count 1, 2, and 3 and return that result. And this is actually what the database looks like. And here you have the database in Neo4j, and this is exactly how we drew it. We've got our actors, we've got our director, the movie, and these relationships between these different nodes. And just to show all of this behavior for you, let's go to Flowise and let's say who directed Top Gun, and of course we get the result back. Let's also ask who acted with Tom Cruise, and of course we do get our response back. What's interesting about this is our actor could have relationships with other movie nodes. Obviously the actor could play in multiple movies, right? So this means that this very same question will also look at other movies and pull in those relationships as well. We're just keeping it super simple for this demo. We could also do something like how many people acted in Top Gun. It's telling us that there are 4 main actors in the film. Obviously in the real world there were way more actors, but because we only set up 4 actors in the database, that result is correct. So GraphRAG can actually be an incredibly powerful tool if the relationships between your data is important. So let's build our project from scratch. I'll create a new chat flow. Let's give it a name like GraphRAG demo. Let's go to add nodes. Let's open chains. And within chains, let's add the GraphCypherQ8 chain. This chain simply allows us to have a back and forth conversation about the data in a Neo4j database. The first thing we need to do is to assign a large language model. So let's go back to Chat Models, and I'm going to add the Chat OpenAI node, like so. I'll also select my credentials, I'll select GPT-4o Mini as the model, and that's just about it. Now let's connect our database. At the moment, Flowise only supports Neo4j, which is an open source graph database. So to add this, let's go to Add Nodes, then scroll down to Graph, and let's add the Neo4j node, and let's attach it to our chain. This node requires credentials and a database name. So let's go ahead and create our database. Head over to neo4j.com and click on Get Started for free. And then let's click on Start Free. Go ahead and create your account, and after signing in, you should see a dashboard similar to this. You just won't have any instances running. Let's create a new instance. So under AuraDB Free, click on Select. Then copy this password and click on Download and Continue. While this instance is being created, you can open up the file that was just downloaded, and you should see your connection credentials in this file. So back in Flowise, let's click on this drop down and let's click on Create New. Let's give our credential a name like Neo4j DB for the Neo4j URL. And please use your own credentials, as I will delete this database after this recording. And let's paste in that URL. For the username, I'll just grab this, and let's do the same for the password, like so. Now I'll just click on Add, select your credentials, and for the database name, we can just leave it on the default value. Now at the moment, nothing will happen if we try to chat to this database because we don't have any data. So let's go back to Neo4j. Let's click on Connect next to our instance, and let's click on Query. Now we can use this screen to load data into our database. And I do want to mention that this is not a Neo4j tutorial. There are plenty of brilliant tutorials online if you do want to learn more about setting this up. And in this video, I really just want to explore the possibility of using GraphRAG in our projects. And quite honestly, I just used Claude to generate these queries for me. So if you want to follow along, simply copy this query from the description in this video. All this is doing is it's creating a node called Movie with the name of Top Gun. Then it's creating nodes for each of these actors, and then it's creating the relationship between the actors and the movie with a relationship of acted in. So I'll simply run this, and we can see that it's created the 5 nodes and the 4 relationships. We can visualize this data by running this command. So I'll simply run this, and now we can see our movie as well as each of these actors and the relationship to the movie. Let's also add our director by pasting in this command. This simply creates a new node for a director with the name Tony Scott, and it then creates the relationship between this director node and Top Gun, and the relationship is directed. Let's run this. Then let's rerun this visualization section. And now indeed we can see the director here as well, with a relationship to the movie of directed. And of course, if you want to, you can add as many nodes as you want. And of course, you can keep adding to this. So maybe as a bit of homework, try to create another movie with its actors and choose a movie where one of these actors also starred in that movie. Either way, this is good enough for this tutorial. So back in Flowise, let's give this a spin. So in the chat, let's say, who acted in Top Gun? And that's great. We get all of our actors back. Let's also try something complex, like how many people acted in Top Gun? And by the way, this is something that would not be possible with VectorRAG, unless one of the documents in your vector store contains this specific answer. Now these answers are correct, but our agent is lacking any type of personality. And there's no way to set a system prompt on this QA chain. Now thankfully, Flowise makes this super simple. All we have to do is attach a QA prompt. So what we can do is go to Add Nodes, let's go to Prompts, and let's add a prompt template. And let's go ahead and attach this prompt template to the QA prompt input. In the prompt template, we can specify things like the role and personality. So let's just say something like, respond in a sarcastic tone. Now do take note that we have to provide 2 variables in this prompt template. If I hover over this info button, it says that the prompt template needs to include a context variable and a questions variable. So back in our template, let's simply add context, and just above it, I'll also just say context, and let's also add a placeholder for the question. So we'll just add question. Cool. Let's save this. Let's save the flow, and let's ask it like, who acted with Tom Cruise? We should get a very sarcastic response back, which we absolutely do. I'm curious to know what your opinion of GraphRAG is, and if this is something that you would use in your projects. Also, check out my full Flowise course over here, which will take you from 0 to hero in no time. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.